We're continuing our Z-Scale MRR3 Project Railroad build today, and I was sceniking a valley on the layout. And the result and what I noticed was a little bit different today than what I expected, and it helped me understand Z-Scale a little bit better. And I'm going to talk about that at the end.
This episode is brought to you with support from US Z-Scale, your authorized American Z-Line dealer. With a complete selection of American Z-Line locomotives, freight and passenger cars, and car sets, plus Rokahan track, US Z-Scale is your one-stop shop for North American Z-Scale. And with upfront shipping costs, there's no surprises when you go to check out. US Z-Scale. Always think big. Check out the link in the description.
One thing I want to note is that I am using Rokahan track, which has a road bed. It's kind of the Z-Scale equivalent of Kato Unitrack. If you want to see me laying that track, I've got that video linked right here as well as at the end of this video. Now, because of this being the first time I'm building a full Z-Scale layout, I'm not ballasting the track. And this is mainly because I was bewildered by how easy Z-Scale can have electrical connection messed up when I did my winter diorama, and I was using techniques that I've used for larger scales. So I still got to work on my techniques for ballasting, and I figured I'd just hold off on this build. So I am just going to do that. I'm going to use some other techniques to help blend the track in, but let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with some white glue to hold our base in place. I don't get the glue too close to the track because I will need to move it around a bit. Then we put down some Earth Blend Scenic Turf, and this is a blended turf with fine and medium turf in it. Once this is done, I can come in and add some dark green fine turf. Now, if you know me, this looks very similar to the processes I do on other larger scales because it translates well here too. And then you can probably guess that I added some coarse turf to that. This just adds all that underbrush and thick. Although at this scale, it's more of bushes, so I'm putting it in larger clumps to make it look like it's clumps of bushes. Next, we need to cover these hillsides. Now, I normally would do puffball trees, super trees, or woodlands in Forest canopy, but Z-Scale is a bit small for a lot of those to work in the way that I want. So I'm going to be doing this with clump foliage, the stuff you normally use for bushes or to put on to make a tree. And this is something that, with Z-Scale being small enough, it actually works really well as a forest canopy. By the way, I'm planning on doing a whole video on tiny hero trees on this layout because smaller trees aren't just great for Z-Scale. You can use them in forced perspective or for certain scenes on larger scales as well. Now I'm going to glue everything down with IPA to soak it and my white glue water mixture that's about 35% white glue. The rest is water and then a couple drops of dish soap. Now there are a few gaps in the canopy that I'm placing rock outcroppings on, and I'm using Woodland Scenic's Ready Rocks for this. This is the first time I've actually done this. Now these are pre-made rocks and they are ready to go. Normally for the size of what I'm doing in terms of scale, I'd be using probably some rubber mold rocks or something like that and making my own and painting them. But this is small enough to where I can just take these Ready Rocks and pop them right on there and it works great. They come pre-packaged, they come ready to go, and they're an awesome little product. And here we are. We're starting to really make some headway on MRR3, and I'm really starting to see the appeal of Z-Scale. The vistas and dioramas that I'm starting to create look and feel more real in terms of the scale. There's less compression and there's more depth, and it just feels more right in terms of the realism. I get the appeal of Z-Scale better now, and I really can't wait to see how this all pans out when this layout is done. So definitely, if you're not already subscribed, this is going to be done over the next few months. So thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, I'm Jimmy from the DIY and Digital. Stay safe, be kind, and happy railroading.